Think about that. At the end, with nothing left to lose, people didn't regret their failures. They regretted their conformity. They regretted playing it safe. They regretted waiting. How many mornings do you have left? If you live to 80 and you're 30 now, you have about 18,000 mornings remaining. Sounds like a lot, right? But how many of those will you actually remember? How many will matter? How many will you spend fully present instead of half asleep, going through motions, waiting for life to start? Seneca said, "Life is long if you know how to use it, but most people don't. They waste it on worry, on resentment, on seeking approval from people who don't matter, on building lives that look good but feel empty." These 12 affirmations are different. They're not here to make you comfortable. They're here to wake you up, to shake you out of patterns you've been running for years, to show you where you've been lying to yourself and where you've been living someone else's script. Before we begin, I need you to make a decision, not about me, not about this video, about yourself. Are you ready to stop going through the motions? Are you willing to be uncomfortable if it means finally being honest? If yes, hit that like button right now. Drop a comment below. Share this video with someone who needs to hear this. Subscribe to this channel because we're not here for quick fixes. We're here for real transformation. And whatever you do, don't skip any part of this video. Your old patterns are comfortable. Your new life is on the other side of discomfort. If you're done wasting your life, declare it below. I refuse to waste another day. Number 1. Today is my real life, not practice. I will live it fully. You've been treating your life like a rehearsal, like the real show starts later, when you lose the weight, when you get the promotion, when you find the right person, when the kids are grown, when you retire, when things finally calm down. But here's what nobody tells you until it's almost too late. This is it. This morning, this regular day, this imperfect moment, this is your actual life happening right now. The Stoic philosopher Seneca watched people waste their entire lives waiting. He saw wealthy people postpone joy until they had more wealth. He saw powerful people delay peace until they had more power. And he realized something that shook him. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. You're wasting it right now if you're waiting for better conditions before you start really living. You're wasting it if you're saving your energy, your love, your dreams for some future version of your life that may never come. Think about how you've been living lately. Have you been going through the motions, checking boxes, surviving until Friday, waiting for vacation, putting off that conversation, that trip, that creative project until you have more time? Here's the hard truth. You won't have more time. You'll just have different excuses. There's a reason this is the first affirmation. Because if you don't grasp this one, the other 11 won't matter. If you keep treating today like it's just another day to get through, you'll get through your entire life without ever really living it. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself every morning, you could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. He wasn't being morbid, he was being honest. He ruled an empire, but he knew that emperor or not, his time was limited. And that awareness made him present. It made him appreciate. It made him stop postponing what mattered. When you wake up and speak this affirmation, you're making a declaration. You're saying, I will not sleepwalk through another day. I will not wait for permission to be happy. I will not save my best self for later. This means actually tasting your coffee instead of just drinking it while scrolling. It means looking at your child when they talk to you, not just hearing them while you think about work. It means noticing the sky, the air, the fact that you woke up breathing. It means doing that thing you've been postponing because you're waiting to feel ready. People at the end of their lives don't regret the things they did. They regret what they postponed until it was too late. They regret the love they didn't express, the trips they didn't take, the dreams they kept on hold, the person they never became because they were waiting for the right time. You want to know what the right time is? Now, this moment, this imperfect, ordinary, unremarkable moment. This is your life, not the highlight reel, not the version you'll tell people about. The real one, the one happening between the big events, and it deserves your full presence. Stop right here and type this commitment. Today is my real life. Number 2. I will pay attention to the people right in front of me. You're surrounded by people, but you're not really with them. Your body is in the room, but your mind is somewhere else. Checking notifications, replaying arguments, planning tomorrow, anywhere but here, with the person standing right in front of you. And one day, you'll want that moment back, but it'll be gone. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Confine yourself to the present." Not because the past and future don't matter, but because they're stealing your ability to actually connect with what's real right now. Think about the last conversation you had with someone you love. Were you fully there? Or were you half listening while thinking about work, scrolling through your phone, or waiting for your turn to talk? We've become experts at being physically present while mentally absent. There's a Japanese concept called ichigo ichi. It means one time, one meeting. The idea is that every encounter with another person is unique and will never happen again in exactly the same way. This conversation, this meal, this ordinary Tuesday afternoon, it's unrepeatable. Once it's gone forever. Your mother won't be here forever. Your father won't be here forever. Your children won't stay children forever. Your friends won't always have time, and neither will you. Every moment you spend distracted is a moment you're choosing your phone over a human being who won't always be available. Seneca observed people wasting their lives and said, "People are frugal in guarding their personal property, but as soon as it comes to squandering time, they are most wasteful of the one thing in which it is right to be stingy." You protect your money, you protect your belongings, but you throw away your attention like it's unlimited. It's not. When you speak this affirmation every morning, you're making a commitment. You're saying, "Today, when my child talks to me, I will put down my phone. When my partner shares their day, I will listen with my full heart, not just my ears. When I'm with someone, I will actually be with them." This doesn't mean you have to be available to everyone all the time. It means that when you choose to be somewhere, you're actually there, not halfway, not mostly, completely. There's a man who spent his son's entire childhood working late, missing dinners, checking emails during baseball games. He told himself he was providing, building a future, being responsible, and he was. But he was also missing the present. His son is 23 now. They barely speak, and all that man has are memories of moments he was physically present for, but mentally missed. He can't get those years back. The boy who wanted his attention is now a man who's learned not to need it. Don't be that person. The people in front of you are not interruptions to your real life. They are your real life. The email can wait. The scroll can wait. The worry can wait. But the person in front of you, asking for your attention, sharing their world with you, they won't wait forever. Eventually they'll stop asking. They'll stop sharing. They'll learn to live without the attention you were too busy to give. Epictetus taught his students, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." What does that have to do with attention? Everything. Because to truly pay attention, you have to be willing to miss out, to not know what's happening online, to not respond instantly, to look foolish to a world that measures worth by responsiveness and productivity. But here's what you gain: real connection, real relationships, real memories that you'll actually remember because you were present when they were made. If someone you love deserves your full attention, write this: I choose presence over distraction. Number 3. My body has carried me this far. Today I treat it kindly. You've been at war with your body for years, criticizing it, punishing it, ignoring its signals until it screams. You look in the mirror and see everything that's wrong instead of the miracle that's right. But your body hasn't given up on you, even when you gave up on it. Marcus Aurelius dealt with chronic illness his entire adult life. Historians believe he suffered from stomach ulcers, possibly even cancer. Yet he wrote, "It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live." He didn't have a perfect body, but he understood that his body was his vehicle for living, not an obstacle to it. Think about what your body has done for you. It's fought off countless infections you never knew about. It's healed cuts and wounds and broken bones. It's kept your heart beating while you slept, breathed for you while you weren't paying attention, digested food you barely chewed because you were eating while distracted. Your body has carried you through heartbreak, stress, sleepless nights, and every bad decision you've made. It's shown up every single day, asking for nothing but basic care. And how have you treated it? Like an enemy, like something that needs to be fixed, changed, improved before it's acceptable. The Stoics practiced something called amor fati, which means love of fate, love of what is, not what you wish it was. This includes your body, not the body you'll have when you lose 20 pounds, not the body you had 10 years ago. This body, right now, with its scars and stretch marks and imperfections. Seneca watched wealthy Romans obsess over their appearance while destroying their health with excess. He said, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." You can't enjoy the present if you're constantly at war with the body you're living in. This affirmation isn't about giving up on health. It's about changing the relationship. You don't improve things you hate. You improve things you care about. When you treat your body like an enemy that needs to be punished into submission, you create a cycle of shame, restriction, rebellion, and guilt. But when you treat your body with kindness, something shifts. You start feeding it well because you care about it, not because you're trying to fix it. You move it because it feels good, not because you're trying to earn the right to exist. You rest it when it's tired, instead of pushing through with coffee and willpower until it breaks. There's a woman who spent 30 years hating her body. Every mirror was a reminder of failure. Every meal was a calculation. Every photo was scrutinized. She missed beach days with her kids because she didn't want to be seen in a swimsuit. She skipped gatherings because she didn't feel thin enough. And then she got sick. Really sick. The kind of sick where you realize your body isn't your enemy, it's your home. She survived. And when she recovered, something had changed. She looked at her body differently, not as something to perfect, but as something that had fought for her, that had carried her through, that deserved kindness, not criticism. Don't wait for a crisis to appreciate what's been carrying you this whole time. When you wake up and speak this affirmation, place your hand on your heart. Feel it beating. That's your body showing up for you again. Be grateful, be kind. Treat it like you would treat something precious, because it is. Your body has carried you this far. Honor it by commenting, "My body deserves my respect." Number 4. I will be present with my loved ones, not distracted. The people you love most are slowly becoming strangers, not because you stopped caring, but because you stopped paying attention. You're in the same house, but living in different worlds. You hear words, but miss the meaning behind them. You see faces, but don't notice what they're not saying. and time doesn't pause while you figure this out. Epictetus lost people he cared about. He watched students leave. He experienced separation. And he said something that cuts deep. Don't demand that things happen as you wish, but wish that they happen as they do happen, and you will go on well. The Stoics weren't cold or unfeeling. They were realistic. They knew that people don't stay forever. Relationships don't pause. Connection doesn't wait. Your parents are getting older. Every time you see them might be one step closer to the last time. Your children are growing up. That little kid who wants to show you every drawing, tell you every story, hold your hand everywhere. They won't always want that. One day they'll stop asking, and you'll wish you had said yes more often. Your partner tells you about their day, and you nod while thinking about something else. Your friend calls, and you promise to call back later, but later never comes. Your sibling texts, and you leave it on read, planning to respond when you have more time. But you never have more time. You just have different distractions. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Loss is nothing else but change, and change is nature's delight." He wasn't saying loss doesn't hurt. He was saying that everything changes, everyone leaves eventually, and that makes the time we have with them sacred, not something to take for granted while we scroll through strangers' lives online. There's a father who worked every weekend. He missed soccer games, school plays, lazy Sunday mornings. He thought he was building a future for his family, and he was. But he was also missing their present. His daughter is 16 now. She doesn't ask him to come to things anymore. She's learned he won't be there. And he's standing in the doorway of her room, wanting to connect. But there's a wall between them now, built brick by brick. With every moment he chose work over presence. He can't undo that, but you can avoid it. Being present doesn't mean you never work. It doesn't mean you have no boundaries. It means that when you're with someone, you're actually with them. Phone down, mind here, eyes meeting theirs. Listening not to respond, but to understand. The Stoics practiced negative visualization. They imagined losing what they had to appreciate it more deeply. Try it. Imagine tomorrow you can never speak to your mother again, never hear your child's voice, never kiss your partner. Suddenly, that distracted conversation feels different, doesn't it? Suddenly, you want that moment back. Don't wait until it's gone to realize what you had. Seneca said, "We are always complaining that our days are few, yet act as though there would be no end to them." You act like there's unlimited time to connect, to be present, to show up fully. There isn't. Every day that passes with half your attention is a day you can't reclaim. Your loved ones don't need your perfection. They need your presence. They don't need you to have all the answers. They need you to be there while they figure things out. They don't need you to fix everything. They need you to witness their life, to share their joy, to hold their pain. When you speak this affirmation every morning, think about who you'll see today. Make a decision. Today, when they speak, you'll listen. When they're near, you'll be near, not physically near while mentally miles away. Actually present, actually there. Because one day you'll want one more conversation, one more ordinary moment, one more chance to be fully present with someone you love. Make sure when that day comes, you have fewer regrets than most. Make this promise to the people you love. Comment now. I give presence, not proximity. Number 5. Today I let go of one old anger that's hurting only me. You're carrying weight that doesn't belong to you anymore. Anger from 5 years ago, resentment from a decade past, bitterness about something that can't be changed. And it's not hurting the person who wronged you, it's only hurting you. They've moved on, they're living their life. Maybe they don't even remember what happened. But you're still there, still replaying it, still feeding it, still letting it poison your present moment. Marcus Aurelius dealt with betrayal at the highest level. People he trusted plotted against him. People he elevated disappointed him. Yet he wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." He didn't say, "Forgive and forget." He said, "Don't become what hurt you. Don't let their actions determine who you are." Think about the grudges you're holding. The person who hurt you 10 years ago, are they thinking about you right now? Probably not, but you're thinking about them. You're giving them free rent in your head. You're letting something that happened in the past control how you feel in the present. That's not strength, that's prison. The Stoics understood something powerful about anger. It's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Holding on to resentment doesn't punish them. It punishes you. It keeps you stuck in a moment that's already over. It prevents you from being fully present because part of you is still back there, still angry, still hurt. Epictetus taught, any person capable of angering you becomes your master. Think about that. When you can't let go of anger towards someone, you've given them control over your emotional state. They don't even have to be in the room. Just the thought of them can ruin your day. Is that the power you want to give away? There's a woman who hasn't spoken to her sister in 8 years. It started with something small, escalated into something bigger, and now neither of them can remember who was supposed to apologize first. 8 years. Holidays spent separately. Nieces and nephews who barely know each other. A relationship that's dying not because of hate, but because of pride. And every year that passes, it gets harder to bridge that gap. The silence becomes its own wall. The anger becomes familiar, almost comfortable. It's easier to stay angry than to be vulnerable enough to heal. But here's what she's losing. Time she'll never get back. Connection that's dying while she waits to be right. A relationship that could bring joy, but instead brings regret. Don't be her in 8 more years, wishing you had let it go today. Seneca said, "Anger, if not restrained, is frequently more hurtful to us than the injury that provokes it." The original hurt happened once, but the anger, you're choosing that every single day. You're re-injuring yourself repeatedly by refusing to release what's already gone. This affirmation isn't asking you to reconcile with everyone who hurt you. Some people are toxic, some boundaries are necessary. This is about releasing the emotional charge. Letting go doesn't mean what they did was okay. It means you're no longer willing to carry the weight of it. You can acknowledge someone hurt you and still choose not to give them ongoing power over your peace. You can remember what happened and still decide that your freedom matters more than your resentment. When you speak this affirmation every morning, identify one anger, just one. Maybe it's big, maybe it's small, maybe it's towards someone who's still in your life or someone who's not. And make a conscious choice. Today, I'm releasing this, not for them, for me. Because every bit of anger you release creates space for something better. Peace, joy, presence, connection, things you can't fully experience while you're gripping onto old pain with both fists. Freedom starts when you let go. Prove you're ready by typing, "I release what poisons me." Number 6. I will do one thing today that my future self will be grateful for. You keep promising yourself you'll start tomorrow. Tomorrow you'll eat better. Tomorrow you'll have that difficult conversation. Tomorrow you'll begin that project. Tomorrow you'll make the change. But tomorrow never comes because when it arrives, it's called today, and you postpone again. Your future self is already living with the consequences of what you're choosing right now. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. He understood that waiting for things to feel right is just another form of avoidance. Action creates clarity, not the other way around. Think about the person you'll be in 5 years. Will they thank you for what you did today? Or will they be dealing with problems you created by doing nothing? Every day you avoid the dentist, your teeth get worse. Every day you avoid the conversation, the relationship deteriorates. Every day you avoid starting, the dream gets further away. Seneca said, "While we wait for life, life passes." You're waiting to feel ready, waiting to have more time, waiting to be certain. Meanwhile, years are disappearing. The body you could have taken care of is breaking down. The skills you could have developed are still dormant. The relationships you could have deepened are growing distant. This affirmation isn't about doing everything. It's about doing one thing. One small action today that moves you toward who you want to become instead of away from it. Maybe it's drinking water instead of soda. Maybe it's walking for 10 minutes. Maybe it's sending that text you've been avoiding. Maybe it's saving $5. Maybe it's writing one paragraph. Maybe it's going to bed 30 minutes earlier. It doesn't have to be big. It has to be intentional. There's a man who wanted to write a book for 20 years. 20 years. He had the ideas. He had the time. What he didn't have was the willingness to write badly at first. So he waited to feel inspired, waited to have a clear outline, waited for the perfect opening sentence, and 20 years passed. Now he's older, more tired, and the regret is heavier than the effort ever would have been. Your future self doesn't need you to be perfect today. They need you to start, to take one step, to prove that you're capable of following through on what you say matters to you. Epictetus taught, "Don't explain your philosophy, embody it. Stop talking about what you're going to do. Stop planning endlessly. Stop waiting for the right moment. Do one thing today that aligns with who you say you want to be." The Stoics understood that character isn't built in grand moments. It's built in small daily choices that nobody sees. The choice to get up when you said you would. The choice to keep your word to yourself. The choice to do the difficult thing instead of the comfortable thing. Every time you do what you said you'd do, you build trust with yourself. Every time you break that promise, you erode it. And right now, if you're honest, how much do you trust yourself? When you say you'll start Monday, do you believe you? When you say this time will be different, does your future self feel hope or skepticism? You rebuild that trust one decision at a time, not with big declarations, with small, consistent actions, with doing one thing today, then one thing tomorrow, then one thing the day after that. Until suddenly, you're not the person who talks about change. You're the person who creates it. When you speak this affirmation every morning, ask yourself, what's one thing I can do today that my future self will thank me for? Not 10 things, not a complete transformation. One thing, then do it. Not when you feel like it, not when it's convenient. Just do it because you said you would. That's how you become someone you respect. That's how you build a life you're proud of. One small choice at a time. One action that says, I'm not waiting anymore, I'm starting now. Your future self is watching what you do right now. Tell them, I start building my future today. Number 7. Today I speak my truth, even if my voice shakes. You've been silent when you should have spoken. You've agreed when you wanted to disagree. You've smiled when you wanted to scream. You've made yourself small to make others comfortable. And every time you do it, you betray yourself a little more. Your silence is costing you your self-respect. Epictetus said, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Speaking your truth will make some people uncomfortable. Some will disagree. Some will judge. And you've let that fear keep you quiet for too long. But here's what's happening while you stay silent. You're teaching people how to treat you. You're showing them that your voice doesn't matter, that your boundaries don't exist, that you'll accept whatever they decide is okay, and then you resent them for treating you exactly how you've taught them to treat you. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. He knew that external power means nothing if you can't speak honestly, that all the authority in the world is meaningless if you're afraid to use your voice. Think about the conversations you've been avoiding, the boundary you need to set, the truth you need to speak, the disagreement you need to voice. Every day you wait, it gets harder. The resentment builds, the distance grows. The relationship becomes based on a version of you that isn't real. There's a woman who spent 15 years in a relationship where she never said what she actually wanted. She was afraid of conflict, afraid of being difficult, afraid of being too much. So, she made herself less. She agreed when she wanted to disagree. She went along when she wanted to speak up. And slowly, she disappeared. Not physically, but the real her, the one with opinions and preferences and boundaries. She vanished. When the relationship finally ended, she looked in the mirror and didn't recognize herself. She had spent so many years being what someone else needed that she had forgotten who she actually was. Don't lose yourself to keep the peace. That's not peace. That's erasure. Seneca said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." You're craving approval, acceptance, comfort, and in that craving, you're giving away something more valuable, your authenticity, your self-respect, your voice. Speaking your truth doesn't mean being cruel. It doesn't mean saying every thought that crosses your mind. It means being honest about what you need, what you feel, what you believe, even when it's uncomfortable, even when your voice shakes, even when you're scared of the response. The Stoics practice something called logos, which means reason or logic. But it also means word, speech, voice. They believed that using your voice aligned with reason was essential to living with integrity. Silence in the face of injustice, dishonesty in the face of truth, agreement in the face of disagreement. All of these erode your character from the inside. When you speak this affirmation every morning, identify one truth you've been holding back. Maybe it's telling someone how they hurt you. Maybe it's saying no to something you don't want to do. Maybe it's admitting you were wrong. Maybe it's expressing what you actually need instead of pretending you need nothing. Your voice matters, not because it will always be received well, not because everyone will understand, but because living with integrity requires that you honor your own truth, even when it's difficult. You might lose people when you start speaking up. That's okay. The ones who leave were only there for the version of you that stayed quiet. The ones who stay will know the real you, and that's worth more than 100 surface relationships built on silence and pretense. If you're tired of staying silent, make this declaration: my truth matters. Number 8. I stop waiting to feel ready. I start now. You've been waiting to feel ready for years, ready to start the business, ready to have the conversation, ready to make the change, ready to take the risk. And while you wait, life is passing. Opportunities are closing, time is running out, and you're still not ready. Here's the truth: you'll never feel ready. Ready is a feeling that comes after you start, not before. Marcus Aurelius didn't wait to feel ready to be emperor. He was thrust into power at 25 after the sudden death of his adoptive father. He could have said, "I'm not ready. I need more time. I need more training." But history doesn't wait for you to feel prepared. Life doesn't pause until you're comfortable. He wrote, "Do every act of your life as though it were the very last act of your life." Not because you should live in fear, but because waiting for the perfect moment is how people waste their entire lives. The perfect moment doesn't exist. There's only this moment, and what you choose to do with it. Think about everything you've postponed because you didn't feel ready. The career change, the creative project, the difficult conversation, the health journey, the dream you've been nurturing in silence. How many years have you given to not yet? How many more will you give? Seneca watched wealthy Romans postpone living until retirement, until they had more money, until conditions were perfect. He said, "Begin at once to live and count each separate day as a separate life." Not tomorrow, not when you're ready. Now, today, this imperfect moment. There's a woman who wanted to start a business for 12 years. 12 years. She had the idea. She had the skills. What she didn't have was the courage to start before she felt ready. So she researched, she planned, she prepared. She waited for the fear to go away. It never did. Meanwhile, other people with less skill and more courage started. Some failed, some succeeded. But they all learned and grew while she stayed stuck in preparation. Now she's 12 years older. The market has changed. Her confidence is even lower because she's watched others do what she was too afraid to attempt. And the regret is suffocating. Don't be her in 12 more years. Epictetus taught his students, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Notice he didn't say, feel ready, then do what you have to do. He said, decide who you want to be, then act like that person, even if you're scared, even if you don't feel ready, even if you might fail. The Stoics understood that action creates clarity. You don't think your way into a new life. You act your way into new thinking. You start messy. You make mistakes. You learn by doing, not by endlessly preparing. Waiting to feel ready is just fear wearing a disguise. It's perfectionism pretending to be wisdom. It's your comfort zone convincing you that staying put is somehow safer than moving forward. But it's not. The only thing that's certain about staying where you are is that you'll still be there tomorrow, next month, next year, looking back with even more regret. Every successful person you admire started before they were ready. Every book was written by someone who didn't feel like a writer yet. Every business was started by someone who didn't feel like an entrepreneur yet. Every meaningful conversation was initiated by someone who was scared of the response. They didn't have something you don't have. They just stopped waiting for permission from their feelings. When you speak this affirmation every morning, identify one thing you've been postponing because you don't feel ready, then do it. Not perfectly, not when you feel confident. Just do it. Take one small action, send the email, make the call, write the first paragraph, have the conversation, start. Because here's what happens when you start before you're ready. You build evidence that you're capable. You prove to yourself that fear doesn't have to stop you. You discover that the thing you've been afraid of is rarely as bad as the anticipation of it. And momentum builds. One action leads to another. One small step creates the next one. You don't need more time. You don't need more information. You don't need more confidence. You need to move now, today, while you're still scared, while you still don't feel ready. That's when courage matters. That's when character is built. No more excuses, no more waiting. Commit right now. I start now, not someday. Number 9. Today, I show up as myself, not who others expect me to be. You've been performing for so long that you've forgotten who you are when no one's watching. You've shaped yourself to fit expectations, molded yourself to gain approval, hidden parts of yourself to avoid rejection. And somewhere in all that shape-shifting, you lost the original. The real you is buried under layers of who you thought you needed to be. Epictetus said something revolutionary for his time, and it's still revolutionary now. Don't be concerned with other people's impressions of you. They are dazzled and deluded by appearances. Stick with your purpose. He understood that living for other people's approval is a prison with no walls. You can't see the bars, but you can't escape either. Think about how much energy you waste trying to be what others want. At work, you're the professional who never shows emotion. At home, you're the strong one who doesn't need help. With friends, you're the funny one who's never struggling. With family, you're whoever they decided you were when you were 15. And in all of it, where's the actual you? Marcus Aurelius had the weight of an empire watching his every move. Everyone had an opinion about how an emperor should act, speak, decide. Yet he wrote in his private journal, "I have often wondered how it is that every man loves himself more than all the rest of men, but yet sets less value on his own opinion of himself than on the opinion of others." Read that again. You love yourself, supposedly, but you trust strangers' opinions about you more than your own. You'll change who you are based on what someone else thinks, even when their opinion is based on a fraction of who you actually are. There's a man who built his entire life around his father's expectations. His father wanted him to be a lawyer, so he became one. His father valued financial success, so he chased it. His father believed emotions were weakness, so he buried his. And now he's 52, successful by every external measure, and completely empty inside. Because none of it was his. The career isn't his passion. The achievements don't fulfill him. The person he became isn't who he actually is. And his father passed away 5 years ago, but he's still living for approval that will never come. How much of your life is yours? How much is borrowed? How much is performance? Seneca observed, "Slavery resides under marble and gold. You can have wealth, status, success, and still be enslaved. Enslaved to others' expectations. Enslaved to the image you're maintaining. Enslaved to the person you pretend to be." The Stoics taught that freedom comes from within, not from circumstances changing, but from you deciding to live according to your own nature, your own values, your own truth. Even if that disappoints people, even if that confuses them, even if they liked the old version better. When you speak this affirmation every morning, ask yourself, who am I when no one's looking? What do I actually want? What would I do if I wasn't afraid of judgment? What parts of myself have I been hiding to keep others comfortable? Then make a choice. Today, show up as that person. Not perfectly, not all at once, but in one small way, be authentic instead of acceptable. Maybe that means dressing how you want instead of how you think you should. Maybe it means expressing an unpopular opinion. Maybe it means admitting you don't have it all together. Maybe it means pursuing something that others won't understand. Maybe it means setting a boundary that will disappoint someone. You will lose people when you stop performing. That's guaranteed. Some people are only in your life because of who you pretend to be. When you drop the mask, they won't recognize you. They'll be uncomfortable. They'll try to put you back in the box they built for you. Let them leave. Because the people who stay, who love you for who you actually are, those are your people. Those relationships are real. Everything else is just transaction dressed up as connection. If you're done pretending to be someone else, claim this. I am enough as I am. Number 10. I ask the important questions before it's too late. You've been avoiding the conversations that matter. The questions you need to ask. The things you need to say. You tell yourself there's time, that you'll do it later, that the moment isn't right. And while you wait for perfect timing, people are slipping away. Stories are being lost. Truths are staying buried. One day you'll want to ask, and there will be no one left to answer. Marcus Aurelius lost his father young. He was adopted by the emperor and never got to ask his biological father the questions that haunted him later. He wrote, "Soon you will have forgotten everything. Soon everybody will have forgotten you." He wasn't being dark, he was being honest. Time erases everything, and the opportunity to connect, to understand, to know, it doesn't last forever. Think about the questions you've never asked your parents, about their childhood, their struggles, their regrets, the choices they made that shaped your life, what they were like before they became your parents, what dreams they gave up, what they wish they'd done differently. You assume you'll ask someday, but someday isn't promised. There's a woman whose father died suddenly at 63. Heart attack, no warning. One day he was there, the next he was gone. And she realized she knew facts about him, but didn't really know him. She didn't know what scared him as a child, what he dreamed about as a young man, why he chose the life he chose, if he was happy, if he had regrets. She'll spend the rest of her life wondering, because she waited for the right time to ask, and the right time never came. Seneca warned, while we wait for life, life passes. You're waiting to have deep conversations when you're not busy, but you're always busy. You're waiting for a moment that feels significant enough. But life happens in ordinary moments. You're waiting for them to bring it up, but they're waiting for you. The Stoics practiced memento mori, remembering death. Not to be morbid, but to live with urgency, to recognize that everyone you love is temporary. Every conversation could be the last one. Every visit might be the final visit. That awareness should make you present, make you curious, make you ask while you still can. Epictetus taught, don't just say you have read books. Show that through them you have learned to think better. Reading about life isn't the same as asking about it. Assumptions aren't the same as understanding. You think you know the people closest to you, but how much do you really know? How much have you actually asked? There's a son who never asked his mother about the man she loved before his father. He found letters after she died, love letters from someone else, a whole part of her life he never knew about, a version of her that existed before he did. And now all he has are questions and no way to get answers, because he assumed her story started with being his mother, and he never asked about everything that came before. When you speak this affirmation every morning, think about the people in your life. What don't you know about them? What have you always wondered but never asked? What conversations have you been postponing? Ask your parents about their first heartbreak. Ask your grandparents what the world was like when they were young. Ask your partner about the dreams they had before they met you. Ask your children what they're really afraid of. Ask your siblings how they remember the same childhood you lived through. Ask the questions that matter while there's still someone to answer them. This isn't just about gathering information. It's about connection. It's about seeing the people you love as full human beings with entire lives and stories beyond their relationship to you. It's about honoring their existence by being curious about it. And ask yourself the hard questions too. What do I actually want? What am I avoiding? What would I do if I wasn't afraid? What matters most to me? What do I believe when no one's watching? Who am I becoming? Who do I want to be? Most people never ask themselves these questions. They drift through life on autopilot, following paths they didn't choose, living by values they didn't examine, becoming someone by accident instead of by intention. The examined life, the Stoics believed, is the only life worth living. That examination starts with questions, hard ones, uncomfortable ones, the kind that makes you squirm because you're not sure you'll like the answers. But ask anyway, because the discomfort of asking is nothing compared to the regret of never knowing. The awkwardness of a deep conversation is nothing compared to the silence of missed opportunity. The vulnerability of curiosity is nothing compared to the emptiness of surface relationships that never go deeper. Before it's too late, before the chance is gone, promise yourself, I ask before it's too late. Number 11. Today I give my time to what really matters, not just what's urgent. Your days are disappearing into urgency. Emails that don't matter, meetings that accomplish nothing, scrolling that numbs you, tasks that feel productive but lead nowhere. And while you're busy being busy, the things that actually matter are being neglected. Your relationships, your health, your growth, your purpose. They're all waiting for time you never seem to have. Seneca observed people wasting their lives and wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Life is long enough, and a sufficiently generous amount has been given to us for the highest achievements if it were all well invested." Read that again. You have enough time. You're just giving it to the wrong things. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Time is a sort of river of passing events, and strong is its current. No sooner is a thing brought to sight than it is swept by and another takes its place." Everything feels urgent. The notification, the request, the problem, the distraction, and you respond to all of it like it matters equally. But it doesn't. Most of what screams for your attention today won't matter next week. But the things you're ignoring, your health, your relationships, your personal growth, those will matter for the rest of your life. There's a man who spent 20 years climbing the corporate ladder. Every email felt urgent. Every meeting felt necessary. Every weekend worked felt like an investment. And it was. He invested time, energy, health, relationships. And in return, he got titles, money, and a heart attack at 49. Lying in that hospital bed, he realized something. None of those urgent emails mattered. None of those meetings changed his life. None of those weekends were worth missing his daughter's childhood. He had spent 2 decades giving his time to what was urgent and neglecting what was important. And he can't get those years back. Epictetus taught, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Every time your phone buzzes, you have a choice. Every time someone asks for your time, you have a choice. Every time you feel that pull toward urgency, you have a choice. You can react automatically, letting urgency dictate your life. Or you can respond intentionally, protecting what matters. The Stoics distinguished between what's in your control and what isn't. You can't control how many things demand your attention, but you can control where you give it. You can't control how many hours are in a day, but you can control how you spend them. When you speak this affirmation every morning, look at your day. What's actually on your schedule? How much of it truly matters? How much is just noise dressed up as necessity? Then make different choices. Block time for what matters before urgent things fill the gaps. Put your phone away when you're with people you love. Say no to meetings that don't serve your goals. Protect your morning before the world makes demands. Guard your evening before exhaustion makes decisions for you. This doesn't mean ignoring your responsibilities. It means being honest about what's actually a responsibility and what's just a habit, an expectation, or someone else's emergency becoming your priority. Your time is your life. When you give your time to something, you're giving a piece of your life that you'll never get back. Urgent things will always scream for attention. Important things usually wait quietly. And if you're not intentional, you'll spend your entire life responding to what's loud instead of what matters. Seneca said, "People are frugal in guarding their personal property, but as soon as it comes to squandering time, they are most wasteful." You wouldn't give a stranger your wallet, but you'll give anyone your time. You protect your money carefully, but you throw away your hours like they're unlimited. They're not. You're running out. Every day that passes with your time given to urgency instead of importance is a day you'll look back on with regret. Every week spent busy but not purposeful is a week closer to wishing you had made different choices. If you're ready to stop wasting your most valuable resource, write, "My time equals my life." Number 12. I live today like I know how quickly time passes. You think you have time. You think there are endless tomorrows waiting. You think the people you love will always be there. You think your health will last. You think opportunities will keep coming. You think you can always start over, try again, make it right later. But time doesn't wait, and one day you'll realize it's too late. Marcus Aurelius wrote something that should shake you awake. Think of yourself as dead. You have lived your life. Now take what's left and live it properly. He didn't write this once. He reminded himself constantly, because even emperors forget. Even the powerful need to remember that time is the one thing they can't control, can't buy back, can't negotiate with. You've watched time fly. You remember being 20 like it was yesterday. Now you're 30, 40, 50, and you're wondering where it went. You remember when your children were small. Now they're grown and gone. You remember when your parents were young. Now they're old. You remember having dreams you were going to chase. Now you're not sure what happened to them. That's what time does. It passes while you're planning, postponing, waiting, distracted. Seneca said, "You live as if you were destined to live forever." You never think of your own frailty. You don't notice how much time has already gone by, but squander it as though you had a full and overflowing supply. Think about how you've been living, like there's always more time, always another chance, always tomorrow. But tomorrow isn't guaranteed. The person you keep meaning to call might not answer next time. The trip you keep postponing might become impossible. The apology you're waiting to give might come too late. The life you're planning to start might never begin. There's an older woman who lives alone now. Her husband died 3 years ago. And she has regrets. Not about the big things, about the small ones. The mornings she was too busy to sit with him over coffee. The evenings she spent on her phone instead of talking. The trips they postponed until retirement. The "I love yous" she didn't say because she assumed there would be time later. She had time. 43 years of marriage. And somehow it still wasn't enough, because she didn't live those years like she knew they would end. She lived them like they were infinite. And now she'd give anything for one more morning, one more conversation, one more chance to be present. Don't wait until loss teaches you what you should already know. Epictetus taught, "Don't seek for everything to happen as you wish it would, but rather wish that everything happens as it actually will. Then your life will flow well." This isn't about accepting mediocrity. It's about accepting reality. Time passes. People leave. Opportunities close. Bodies age. That's not pessimism. That's truth. And when you live according to that truth, everything changes. You stop postponing. You stop taking people for granted. You stop waiting for perfect conditions. You stop living like you have forever. You start showing up, saying what needs to be said, doing what matters, being present, loving hard, living now. The Stoics practiced negative visualization. They imagined losing what they had to appreciate it more deeply. Try it right now. Imagine this is your last year of health, your last year with your parents, your last year in this home, this job, this relationship. How would you live it differently? What would you prioritize? What would you let go? Who would you spend time with? What would you finally say? Now recognize this. You don't know it's not your last year. You have no guarantee of tomorrow. So why are you living like you do? When you speak this affirmation every morning, let it change your entire day. Don't rush through breakfast. Taste it. Don't scroll past your life. Notice it. Don't postpone the conversation. Have it. Don't save your energy for later. Use it now. Don't wait to be happy. Choose it today. This doesn't mean being reckless or ignoring the future. It means balancing awareness of time's speed with presence in the current moment. It means planning for tomorrow while fully inhabiting today. It means building a future without sacrificing the present to get there. Time is passing right now. While you listen this, while you think about it, while you plan to change, it's passing, and you'll never get this moment back. This exact combination of circumstances, people, opportunities, health, it exists only now. Tomorrow it'll be different. Next year, completely changed. 10 years from now, unrecognizable. The question is, when you look back at today, will you wish you had lived it differently? Or will you be grateful you were awake to it? This could be your last chance to change. Show you understand. I live like time is precious. You've heard all 12 affirmations now, and if you're like most people, part of you is already forgetting them, already sliding back into old patterns, already telling yourself you'll start tomorrow. Don't do that. These aren't just words. They're not motivational phrases to feel good about for 5 minutes. They're truths that people spend lifetimes learning. Truths that someone at the end of their life would travel back in time to tell their younger self. And you just heard them. The question is, what will you do with them? Marcus Aurelius wrote his meditations as personal reminders, not for publication, not for others, for himself, because he knew that even with all his wisdom, he would forget. He would get distracted. He would fall back into old ways. So, he wrote himself reminders, daily, constantly. That's what these affirmations are for you. You don't read them once and transform. You speak them every morning. You let them sink in. You use them to interrupt the automatic patterns your mind runs. You make them part of how you start each day, each new beginning, each fresh chance. Epictetus said, "Don't explain your philosophy. Embody it." These 12 affirmations are useless if they stay in your head. They only matter when they change your actions, when they make you put down your phone and look at your child, when they make you finally have that conversation, when they make you start before you feel ready, when they make you choose what matters over what's urgent. Seneca reminded his students, "As long as you live, keep learning how to live. You're never done. You never arrive. Every morning is another chance to practice, to choose differently, to live more intentionally, to become who you're capable of being." So, here's what I need you to do. Every morning, before you check your phone, before the world rushes in, speak these affirmations. Not all 12 if that feels overwhelming. Start with one, the one that hit you hardest, the one you most need to hear. Speak it out loud, let it settle, then live that day according to that truth. Then the next day, add another and another, until these aren't just affirmations, they're how you think, how you choose, how you live. The Stoics believed that philosophy wasn't about theory, it was about practice, daily practice, moment-by-moment choices, small decisions that accumulate into a life of meaning, purpose, integrity. You have that opportunity right now. Not tomorrow, not when conditions are better. Now, today, this moment. You can keep living on autopilot, reacting, postponing, waiting. Or you can wake up, choose differently. Start now. If this video impacted you, don't just close it and move on. Hit that like button. Drop a comment below sharing which affirmation resonated most with you. Share this video with someone who needs to hear these truths. Subscribe to this channel because we're building a community of people who refuse to sleepwalk through life. We're here for the ones who want to live with intention, purpose, presence. Your life is happening right now, not in some distant future, not when things calm down. Now, these 12 affirmations are your tools, your reminders, your way back to what matters when everything else tries to pull you away. Don't waste them, don't forget them, don't postpone applying them. Start today. Wake up, breathe, and speak your truth to yourself before the world speaks its lies to you. You made it through all 12. Now, seal your commitment. I choose to live awake.